Valved propellers cost you speed, performance and fuel, but Seajet has produced Triple Pack, a propeller and stern gear anti-fouling that is very easy to apply. Because it uses a toxic anti-fouling as the final coat, make sure you protect yourself with a coverall, disposable gloves, eyeglasses, a cap and a face mask. With the boat lifted from the water for her annual scrub and re-anti-foul, wash off as much fouling from the stern gear as possible. For Triple Pack to work effectively, you need to get right back to the original material. So first clean off any barnacles or worm casts, and then scrape or abrade away any old anti-fouling, including silicone coatings. A wire brush will prove useful for getting into hard to reach areas. Finally, abrade the bare bronze, aluminium or stainless steel with an 80 grit wet and dry paper, used wet to give the surface a good key. For factory coated outdrives or props, abrade the protective surface with P180 grit to create a key. With the surface abraded, rinsed with fresh water and dried, wipe it down with a solvent such as acetone to remove any remaining residue. Now we're ready to anti-foul. The two-part epoxy primer is central to Triple Pack success by bonding the anti-fouling system closely to the metal. Epoxies don't cure well below about 15 degrees centigrade, so make sure the day is relatively warm before starting. After breaking down the Triple Pack, which has recessed bases, pour the contents of component B, the hardener, into the tin of component A, the base resin, using all the material and stirring well as you go. Epoxy must be well mixed, so continue stirring gently for about 5 minutes. Now apply the mixed product to the prepared stern gear with a brush, starting at the edges of the blades and then covering the rest of the metal with a good coating, avoiding any runs. Also cover other metal surfaces in the area that you wish to anti-foul, such as this bracket and stripper gear. The primer is now left to harden for a minimum of 10 hours at a temperature of at least 15 degrees centigrade. The third component in the Triple Pack is Seajet's highly effective Emperor 034 anti-fouling paint. Cover lid against any pressure build-up, especially in hot climates, and make sure you stir the paint well before use, probing the bottom corners of the tin to lift any settled contents. Using a brush, apply one good coat all over the primed areas to be protected, including the shaft and cutters as seen here. Leave to dry for another 6 to 7 hours before applying a second coat. Leave the second coat to fully dry for 24 hours before relaunching the boat, which will now have a full year's protection against even the most persistent fouling. In future haul-outs, all that will be needed for the stern gear is a wash-off and a quick recoat of the Emperor anti-fouling. So, instead of having this to deal with, you'll have something more like this.